Enough is enough.
For the last 40 years, I've been living a life that is not even mine.
You need to beg permission to go on holiday. You need to beg to go to the toilet. And you have to do this every single day, Monday to Friday, for the rest of your life.
You don't need to wait till retirement to start living life on your own terms.
Because right now you're just running without a goal line or a finish line or an end in mind.
So what does a typical morning on a D path look like? Wake, rise, rush to work, office. That's not living, that's surviving.
And the 9 to 5 isn't broken. It simply wasn't built to make you free. And if that feels like you, make sure you lock in today, like, subscribe, and share to a friend who's also in the same position, because that's exactly what we're going to tackle in today's episode. Now, getting straight into it, the would you rather. Now, I've got something special for you guys, right? So, a bit of context. So, listen to the rules before you give me your would you rathers, right? So, cool. Would you rather climb a building without any safety equipment for 100K or dive into a pool full of piranhas for £1 million? Now, context. Firstly, if you pick option 1, you're allowed 2 months training, and it's a 15-meter tall building. The building obviously has some nooks and crannies, so obviously you can climb into it, right? And if you pick option 2, the pool is cloudy, so you can't actually see the piranhas, and it's a 15-meter swim, right? However, fun fact, piranhas don't actually bite so long as they've been fed. And these piranhas have been fed. But it's just the thought of actually having to swim in a pool full of piranhas.
Okay. Are they definitely been fed?
Definitely been fed.
But then option 2, that's a quite easy one for me.
But obviously it's like the mental. You know what I mean? It's like it's like, would you say, like walking through, like if you got a phobia of
I would have had to have watched each and every one of them fed. So I know they've been fed before I get into that water. I'm feeding them. I'm feeding each one, and I'm throwing someone in there. I'm throwing someone in there first to see if they eat. And if I'm throwing you in.
Oh, wow.
What are you saying? Which one you picking?
You see me, I've got like a phobia of like reptiles, snakes, crocodiles, and kind of like slimy things. I don't even think, even if I saw them fed full, belly full, I'd rather do the climb.
Okay.
I haven't got that much of a fear of heights, so I'd rather the climb personally. But guys, please let us know in the comments, what would you rather do? Scale a building or jump in a pool full of piranhas? Let us know. Right?
Risk your life.
Yeah.
I don't even want to risk my life. I don't even think it's worth it. But for the sake of it, I'm going to give you an answer. But you know how I feel about risking life for money.
All right, cool.
Cool, getting straight into it. I want to talk about how your job consumes your best energy. Like, you go to work, it saps pretty much your mental, your physical, and really you're left with nothing for your passions.
Literally. And I think the whole part of it as well, we're working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, just for those 2 days. And we actually really need to understand, like, those Saturdays and those Sundays on half of that Friday, are we actually genuinely enjoying those Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays? Mm-hmm. Are we living those to the fullest potential, right? And you're currently building and you're planning for someone else's dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, you got that whole concept of TGI, thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
People literally living for the weekend because they've had such a horrible week at work. It's like, now I can't wait. And I always used to think to myself, is that really the best way to live your life? Like, living for the weekends. You're basically hoping and living your life away. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, 100%. And now it's a matter of, this is the way we've been conditioned, right? That's the way the world, the matrix is positioned. Everything that we do is that, you know, we go to school, we revise, we go to university, we get a job, we work there for the next 40 years, and we'll be blessed with a holiday once a year for a week, somewhere in Bodrum or Spain or whatever, right? And then we're back Monday to Friday, slowly just withering away. There has to be something else that we can do, surely.
No, totally. So I want to share a story of someone I personally know who's sort of in their 50s now. And, you know, guys, this ain't about 9 to 5 bashing. I just want to kind of put it out there. This is about, you know, getting you to open up your mind to other possibilities than having a career and living a 9 to 5. If you're someone who loves what you do and you can't wait to get into work every day, and the weekends is just kind of a reset for you, then fine, this might not be for you. But this is for that person who knows that what they're doing right now is not necessarily their plan. And, you know, they're now looking for other opportunities, other options, and other ways of looking at life. But with that being said, going back to someone I know personally who, you know, they're in their 50s now, and recently, you know, it's like they've had an epiphany where they're like, oh my God, for the last 40 years, I've been living a life that is not even mine. It's a life that I haven't really enjoyed. I thought it was something I enjoyed, but now I realize that I've, been wasting my life away, and now I'm ready to kind of make that change and do something different. And they're now just kind of going full force. But one of the biggest things for them they've had to do is reset their mind and how they see things, how they see life, unconditioned. Unconditioned from what they thought was right to now, actually, that's maybe was right for someone else, but that's not necessarily right for me. And now where I kind of commend them is they've actually taken action, which is, we could talk for days, hours about all these different things, but if people are not taking action, it means absolutely nothing.
100%. Now, and I really appreciate that story, because I've even got a few friends and mates who've also been in that sort of predicament, but the last point, the action. We're always having those whole conversations over and over again. I can't count how many phone calls, and probably even you as well, bro. Right? How many phone calls, how many conversations have you had with them? Like, bro, find something for yourself, do something. And I feel like what the next part we want to discuss is now having a framework, right? In terms of some practical steps, as you guys know, we're always about practical steps, right? But what are some practical steps, some shifts, some frameworks for freedom that we can actually put on paper so people can actually start planning?
Cool. And the first shift is from paycheck to purpose. So ask yourself, what energizes you? What could you do for free? I want to share, what does like purpose-driven work look like? For me, I can work 12, 14 hours a day in my business, because we always laugh about it. It doesn't feel like work. So what could you actually do that doesn't really feel like work?
100%. And I feel like the natural progression into like your sort of next shift will be from employee to creator, right now. So what talent, what hidden gems, what are you sitting on that you've ignored, right? What are you passionate about? Like John said, like, what are you currently doing that doesn't feel like work, that feels like play? Like, are you into hair? Are you into makeup? Do you like to game? Are you into your technology? Like, even like my sick glasses that I've got on right now.
I was going to say, wait, let's pause for a second. Because I'm thinking, why on earth is this guy wearing these glasses? Quickly run everyone through your fancy Ray-Bans.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, sponsor me. But yeah,
and me too. I could do with a new pair.
But yeah, I've got these Ray-Ban wafers by Meta AI, and they're just basically like some really, really cool glasses that I've got like built-in technology, so like I can.
Are you filming now?
No, so I can go like, hey Meta, start recording.
Oh, crazy.
So like right now I'm recording everything I can see right now.
Nice.
And you should obviously like see like a bit of a thing.
This is nice, like, distracting me. But
I'm like, hey Meta, stop recording. And it'll stop recording.
Oh, wicked.
You know what I'm saying? Or if I want to play music, if I want to go on walks, I know like you go on a lot of walks as well.
Yeah.
So like, hey Meta, like, I'm not going to, hey Meta, play music.
Okay.
And then we'll start playing music, and then etc. You can listen to your podcast and whatever you want to do as well. So
nice.
Again, segueing back, right? Like if you're into technology like me, you like AI, you like some cool, interesting stuff, like make content about this, right? Again, how can we shift that perspective from employee to creator, right? So you can now create something tangible for that, whether that be a service, whether that be a product that you can facilitate to the masses.
Cool. Okay, so I want to shift into shift 3, which is from survival mode to design. So I want to talk about how, for me personally, I looked at my life and thought, I want to live life on my own terms. What does that look like? And started to create and design my own life. Waking up at 5 a.m, doing a bit of reading, going to the gym, coming back, spending my 4 hours on my day, clocking out by noon, being able to just have a life that is a lot more flexible, allows me to spend more time with my family, do the school run, and just do the things that I want to do. And I think that's one of the key things that we're trying to, explain to you guys and let you guys know that, living life on your terms is possible. You just need to take action.
100%. And now that we've got some clear steps, right, we've gone from shift 1 to shift 2 to shift 3. Now it's all about a call to action, some real steps now. So how are we going to empower these small actionable steps? So like for those of you who are watching right now, so you understand the shift, right? In terms of being from an employer to creator, now having some actionable steps, and overall also making sure that your passionable items, right, or your things that you wanted to do, whether, you like to jog, you like to run, you want to create communities, you want to build a service, you want to build a product. So now how can we empower the people, JP? How can we actually ensure them that they're not going to be in this rat race? They're not going to be in this game of the matrix of life where they're just going to be working for the next 40 years. What can we help them do?
Yeah, I think for me, the first one is just mindset shift. I believe everything starts with mindset. Again, we've all been conditioned, whether we like to believe it or not. And those of us who are maybe in a 9 to 5, and again, I'm not bashing 9 to 5s, but those who are maybe in a 9 to 5 and don't feel like there is another life they can live, they need to shift their mindset to understand that if there are other people, you know, living life on their own terms, why can't I? And that shift is the first step. Like, I need to change the way I see life, change the way I see myself, and know that there is a better life out there for me.
100%. And again, remember, guys, you know, small steps is the start of momentum, right? It just takes that one step, that one pen to paper moment, that one post, that one website subscription, or your first lead. That small step is the first step into something great, right? And that's something that we can all do. And I feel like a natural progression from that in terms of action step is just planning, right? Just planning, taking that action and also planning. So now you actually have a goal to start working towards. Because right now you're just running without a goal line or a finish line or an end in mind. And that can be very, very disheartening, and you can become disgruntled because you're not seeing any results. But if we plan and we have something to actually work towards, then it's going to be a lot more fulfilling. And it's just that first step, right? So guys, please, if you're in this journey of taking that first step, please hashtag us, tag us in, we'll repost everything, comment. If there's some ideas that you're sort of thinking on or business things that you want to do, please drop us a message, drop us a comment, between John and I, we'll get back to you 100% to support you guys in your journey.
And I just want to throw in there as well, one of the big things that I had to do was work on myself. And we had this conversation, I think it was yesterday, about the importance of personal development.
Massively.
A lot of people stay stuck to where they are because for some reason they feel they don't need to learn, they don't need to grow, they don't need to water themselves. And I think for me, personal development was what took me from where I was, say, 3.5 years ago to where I am now. And it's about, you know, constantly watering yourself, constantly learning, constantly developing and implementing what you know. So wanted to throw that in there.
No, 110%. And guys, I really hope you appreciate today's episode. But now, this is the part of the show called Plug Bites, where John and I share something that's touched us, that we feel will resonate with you, most of the time on topic of what we discussed today in terms of sort of unplugging from your 9 to 5 and living life on your own terms. So I'll start pace and go first. And my Plug Bite today says, you don't need to be fearless. You just need to be fed up enough to act.
Perfect.
And this is probably what all of you are feeling right now. Me, John, everyone has been in this position where enough is enough. You need to beg permission to go on holiday. You need to beg to go to the toilet. You have 45 minutes, half an hour sometimes if you're lucky, worth of lunch. And you have to do this every single day, Monday to Friday for the rest of your life. Now is time to act because you're fed up. You've had enough. Now is time to act and take action. And I just feel for me, that quote, that moment, that statement really resonated because that was it for me. Again, like John said, we're not bashing the 9 to 5, but for me, I was very much in my sort of corporate bracket. I've always had an entrepreneurial thing. I've always done a bit of side hustles, this and that, but I just always felt I'm going to make my bag. I'm going to make my money from my 9 to 5. I had a clear plan, you know, become an assistant project manager, then a project manager, then a senior project manager, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought, I'm just building someone else's dream right now and not my own.
And probably question, where did that even plan come from? Is that even my plan?
Exactly. You know, what, exactly. Where's the origination of this plan? I don't remember having a conversation with anyone about that.
Wake up saying, I'm passionate. This is what I'm going to do in my life and my career.
You know what I mean? And that's just what we've been conditioned to, right? And up until you've had enough, or you broaden your circle or your mindset shift, that's what you're going to be doing. But yeah, that's just sort of my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, appreciate that. Thank you. That was good, man. Very powerful. My one is short and sweet. So my one reads, don't wait until retirement to start living. Design now. So I want to paint a picture of what this looks like. People think of retirement as this wonderful thing that you've worked 65, 75, you get to 65, 75. In fact, I'm sure retirement's gone up now.
Yeah.
It's about 90. They want you to work till you're dead, literally. Coming in your stroller and that. But yeah, there's this whole picture that you can only really start living life till you get to retirement age. And when you really deep it, why on earth would you want to wait till you're 75 to now start living? Start going on holiday, start doing the things that you want to do, start following your dreams, start following your passion, start traveling the world. Why on earth would you want to do that? And guys, I want to make this very, very clear. You don't need to wait till retirement to start living life on your own terms. That starts when you decide to make that decision that you want your life to be different, you want to make a change, and you're ready now to pursue your goals, your dreams, your passions. And you're not going to pursue other people's, you're going to pursue yours. But you need to get serious. You need to change your mindset and you need to implement what you start to learn about how to do that.
No, 100%, bro. And I feel like a lot of people will resonate with that. especially when, you know, we've been so conditioned to just work up until we're retired. But yeah, again, like, stop planning your retirement now, right? There's not an awful lot to live for or to even do when you're at that age.
What can you do when you're 75? You're like, with all due respect to anyone who's over saying, you're a bit older.
Yeah.
You're mature is the word I'm going to go with.
There
like,
we go.
You know, and you've waited all this time to now do what you want to do. Yeah, nah. Do you really want to be in that position?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
All right.
Trust me.
But guys,
with that being said, episode 30, it's a landmark. I just want to say, bro, 30, man.
We made it, man.
We made it.
We made it.
A lot
more to come.
A lot more
to come. We're just getting started, guys.
Just getting warmed up.
We're just getting warmed up.
Indeed.
But guys, with that being said, I really, really appreciate and hope you have equally appreciated this episode. And as always, guys, please make sure you're liking,
sharing,
subscribing. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell your mum, tell your dad, tell his mistress.
Jeez.
And as always, love, love, love.
Elevate.